Hello, this is Treb. Welcome to Treb Talk, and I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to tell you a story about when I witnessed or when I saw a UAP or a UFO. So back in 2006, I was married at the time. My wife and I were on our way to the mall. It may have been on a Saturday because it was during the afternoon. I know I was working at the time. I was working for a company called AIU, and we decided to go to the mall. We were heading a direction which I believe we were probably visiting my parents and heading towards the mall. I'm assuming my parents were probably watching our daughter at the time, and because she was born she was about 3 years old, so we probably just wanted to go to the mall on our own, maybe pick up some things and just kind of cruise around the mall. And on our way there, we were on Roselle Road and Weathersfield Way. I was driving, and I told Katie, and this was my wife at the time, we're no longer married. I was telling Katie, I was like, "Hey, Katie, do you see that up in the sky?" And she says, "Yeah." So I pulled over, and at that point there was a Walgreens there on Roselle Road, Roselle and Weathersfield Way. And there were some other people that pulled over as well because they were seeing the same thing we were seeing. So we got out of the car and we looked up at the sky, and there were 12 triangle-shaped craft flying in a triangle formation. And all 12 of them were flying in a triangle formation. So you had 3 spacecraft that were shaped as triangles, and they were in the triangle formation, and all of them together were in this big triangle formation. So you could probably picture that in your mind. It was a metallic looking, it was dark, maybe matte black, maybe not metallic, but a matte black finish on these. I can see them pretty well because this was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And in the middle of the triangle shaped craft was like a circle. And I don't know if that was used for repulsion to keep them afloat, but these things were floating and staying completely still, and there was no sound whatsoever. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. And their lights on the tips of the triangles were blinking. So they were like blinking lights. So you can see that. And so we were looking, and I was talking to people around us, and we couldn't believe what we were witnessing, what we were seeing. And we just kept thinking, well, maybe it's a military thing, or I don't know. We've never seen craft like this before. So we maybe looked at it for about 10 minutes. I had a flip phone at the time, and of course the megapixels on those phones were horrific. Maybe 1.5 megapixel. So I wouldn't be able to capture much at all. And I didn't even think to take a photo, and I probably could have gone to Walgreens and gotten a disposable camera, and I don't know why I didn't do that. We were just mesmerized by what we see, and I think that's what happens with people when they see things that they can't explain. Sometimes you just don't think about what you need to do next is like capture what you're seeing. And so, yeah, I didn't capture what we were looking at. Then we, for about 10 minutes, we looked at it, and then we went straight to the mall. Why? I don't know. But we went straight to the mall. Came back, and of course, we came back on that same street, and they were gone. So the next day, I went online at work, and I did a Google search to see if anybody else have seen the same thing. And I did see a forum. It was like a UFO forum that I came across, and people were reporting the same thing back then. In 2006, and there was people in Texas, Tennessee, Ohio, Wisconsin, Illinois. Seemed like it was more in the Midwest. I didn't see anything reporting in the Northeast or the Northwest. It was more in the Midwest. So everybody that witnessed these things saw it in the Midwest. So I don't know if it was so big enough that other states were seeing them at the same time, or it seemed like it was different times in the day, if I remember correctly. And then I told my wife at the time, I told Katie, and I was like, "Hey, look, I came up with this website. I found this, and people were reporting the same thing. And then after that, we didn't talk about it until recently, because people have been talking about UAPs and UFOs and telling their story. And I thought, well, maybe this would be a good time to tell my story, since it's still embedded in my brain. I wanted to confirm my story, because maybe I was just exaggerating what I saw, possibly, because that could happen, I guess. So what I did was I sent a text to my ex-wife, and I said, hey, do you remember we were on our way to the mall and what we saw up in the sky? And she filled in the blanks for me. So that really helped me confirm that what we saw was what we saw. And I said, oh, did it look like this? She said, yeah. And then it had this. And then we were going back and forth. And so that made it so much better for me, especially telling this story. But it's something that, yeah, we just didn't talk about it. And then I'm just talking about it now, really. But maybe it's something that you saw. Maybe back then in Illinois, maybe you're from Illinois, you're watching this video, or in your another state watching this video, maybe you saw the same thing or saw something similar, or even just a UFO in itself or a UAP. Feel free to comment on the comments section. I would love to hear your story. And like I said, this is a different, I usually talk about like political stuff, little, news, but just thought I would share this with you, and in hopes that, maybe you'll have the same story or you understand this as well. But thank you for listening. If you haven't, I want you to destroy that like button. Some people say smash, destroy it. And then also share my videos too. Would love that. And subscribe if you haven't. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.